Hi everyone, I'm Prashant Noiskar from the Aussizz group and we are going to have an overview of the IELTS exam today. Now, the IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System and is an English language exam that is specifically designed to test your language abilities. Now, this exam is of international repute and is well accepted in over 140 countries and across 9,000 institutions, making it a choice of the masses. Now, we will have a brief overview of what IELTS is all about, and we will also have a look at the various parameters or attributes of this very exam. Now, it is of vital importance that you know that IELTS is split into two categories or modules. The first one called as the academic module and the second one called as the general training module. What differentiates these two modules is their usage. For example, academic module would be undertaken by students who wish to pursue their studies overseas, whereas the general training module would be undertaken by candidates who wish to work or immigrate abroad. Now, we will have a look at what constitutes the IELTS exam. Both these modules predominantly consist of 4 sections that you are supposed to attempt. The very first section pertains to listening and is aptly called as the listening section. Now, this is a 30-minute duration test wherein the candidate will hear recorded audio clips and then try to answer questions pertaining to the same. The time allotted for this particular section is 30 minutes with an additional transfer time of 10 minutes at the end of the section. The second section that you are going to deal with is called as the reading section. Now, reading section is the same for both academic and general training module in the sense that the structure would remain the same. The candidates will need to answer 40 questions in a time frame of 60 minutes. The only difference that would occur is the kind of content that is going to be presented to you. While academic reading deals with text that has been sourced from books and journals with an aim of understanding whether the student will be able to perform effectively in an academic environment. Whereas the content for general training reading is sourced from a wide range of everyday context and is designed to measure your ability as a candidate who can communicate effectively in a social setup. Now, you have 60 minutes to answer 40 questions and that completes your reading section. The third section is called as the writing section, and once again, like the reading part of it, you have subtle variations in the kinds of questions that are going to be asked in the academic module and in the general training module. While the number of tasks remain the same, the time remains the same, the kind of tasks that the candidate has to perform varies considerably. While task 1 is given 20 minutes and task 2 is allotted a time frame of 40 minutes, we see that task 1 for academic pertains to a report writing. Now, you will be presented with charts, graphs or any sort of visual information which you are supposed to convert into a written form. The second task for academic student pertains to an essay that needs to be completed within 40 minutes, also following the minimum word count rule of 150 words. Similarly, for general training, you would have 2 tasks. The task 1 would be allotted a time limit of 20 minutes, wherein you will have to write down a letter. Now, this letter could either be a formal letter, a semi-formal letter or an informal one. And similar to the academic task 2, the task 2 in general training module is also an essay that needs to be completed in 40 minutes and keeping in mind the minimum word count of 250 words. The last section that you as a candidate will be facing is the speaking section, which nominally lasts for 13 to 16 minutes. Now, this section is designed to enable the assessor or the examiner to understand your speaking skills. Speaking section consists of 3 broad sections. The first part deals with the examiner introducing himself or herself, after which you as a candidate will introduce yourself to him or her. This will be followed by a series of general questions pertaining to the information that you have already provided. The second part and the most important one pertains to a general topic that needs to be spoken about. For this, you will be asked to draw a clue card and will be allotted 30 seconds to think about the stuff that you are going to speak. You will be speaking for 1.5 to 2 minutes, after which your part 3 begins, wherein the examiner is going to throw cross questions at you regarding the topic that you have just spoken about in part 2. This entire affair lasts for 14 to 16 minutes and this completes your IELTS exam. Thank you.